Creator of the show, John Burge.
Brian asked me, like, it goes back to a little after 2000, if I'd like to write an opera at some point. And I said, well, sure, but if I'm going to do an opera, it has to take place in a barn. One of the favorite books in our family is a story by Jan Andrews. It's illustrated by Karen Lucia. It's the kind of book that parents and grandparents in particular love to read little kids, because the grandparents are the ones who end up crying at the end. The kids are off running and doing whatever they want. So I was very fortunate a couple years ago, a librettist contacted me named Eugene Benson, who had about 3 librettos that he wanted me to send. To really develop an opera means that you've got to be collaborative. So Eugene, one of the wonderful things he did is he got a saw into the plot. If you've never heard a musical saw, it sort of sounds like this sort of haunting, you know, it's glissando violin, but it's just really beautiful. And in the end, there are 7 characters, and one of the things that Eugene did, I think he's done a wonderful job with the libretto, because he added an auctioneer. So the auction, in fact, starts off with the auctioneer walking out and getting everyone pumped up for an auction with the usual auctioneer's banter. And because grandfather is crucial to this. Grandfather is played by 2 characters. And one of them is the old guy, is a guy by the name of Bruce Kelly, who is a great baritone that has been teaching at Queen's for like almost as long as I have. And for years, he had his office next door to mine, and so, you know, I know his voice, I know his lessons, I know his stories, I know everything about Bruce. And he's got a big voice. And one of his former students, who's actually over in Belgium these days, a very great baritone, who's actually spent a lot of his time imitating Bruce, is playing the younger grandfather. Then Donna is playing the daughter, or Todd's mother, obviously. And then we have one Todd at this point, but we'll probably have 2, just so we can double cast the child. There are 6 instrumentalists. So it's a very small instrumental ensemble. There's a piano who also plays an electric keyboard just for some organ stuff, both a loud organ. There's a big wedding scene, so I want a big sort of church organ going, and then there's a funeral scene in the second act. We have sort of we return to Granny's funeral, so it's a softer organ stop. There is a violin, viola, and cello. So in a sense, if you know what a piano quartet is, it's 3 strings and a piano. So that's the core. But I also have a guitar who also plays banjo to get the sort of country aspect of it in a couple of numbers. And then there's a percussionist who plays a whole whack of things, including saw.
Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
So I started passing it around.